What is good, y'all? What is good? This is your girl Nala the Neptunian, also Nala-Ife. And for Nala-Ife Talks Live, unscripted and off the chain. So we have this full moon in Aries, and let's talk about it. In the season of Libra, Libra definitely is about bringing balance, right? But Aries is about being the one, okay? And the North Node is in Aries, the South Node is in Libra. So at this point in time, it is about who you are. Aries represents identity. It represents individuality, uniqueness in a sense of who you are. It is the I am. Okay. And you have been summoned to the races. And now it is time to go. Leave it all on the track, in other words. Okay. Any obstacle, any type of blockage, anything that has been holding you back, you've been working on it, you've been exercising, you've been removing your own blockages, you've been picking up speed, picking up power. You have. You have this in your mind. And listen, can't nobody be you better than you. You are the inspiration. You are the one. Okay. Shout out to those of you who have North Node in the first house or North Node in Aries. Okay. This full moon is about making a pact with yourself, your uniqueness, what you bring to the table, who you are, honoring what you bring to the table, honoring your uniqueness, honoring your gifts, honoring the things that you introduced into this world and taking responsibility for them, being accountable for them, standing in them. This is not about the imitation, it is about the real. Aries is not the imitation, it is the real. It's not about who, it's not about any of this other stuff. You are putting your magic in to destroy anything that bastardizes your unique energy and your unique contribution to this world. And when we're talking about your flavor, your energy, your uniqueness, your style, your signature, who you are, your birthright, anything that seeks to pervert that, to take that, it is the contract on spirit, because the people, the energies, the persons, the events, situations, and even for some people, environments, you already made those agreements that you were going to have to fight. Aries is the god of, we're talking Mars, god of war. So definitely Mars like energy. And it's amazing because this is happening on a Thursday with the king of the gods. I'm a number 3 life path. Okay. So Jupiter is definitely there, Saturnian everything. Okay. But I have access, personal planetary access to using this energy. Some of you have been held back, and it's not about being held back in regards to people in situations that are not supportive. We got to make sure that we're differentiating. We're talking about you have held yourself back. And I'm the kind of person who I detest competition in sense of spirituality and things that are collective are for us all. But guess what? Competition is necessary when we're talking about your unique place in the world. And can't nobody do you better than you. Nobody. So, no thing. Anything that is not you, the person born under your stars, they cannot. So this is a great time for you to make a huge statement. It is a great time for you to make a huge example and to cement why you are that motherfucker. This is a time to not let anyone play with you. Remember, Libra is the sign of the military. Okay? I have a very strong Libra anchor. It is about diplomacy. But with South Node here, we have to re-examine the ways in which our partnerships or people partnering with our energy, trying to part with it, that energy has to go because there can only be one. And I want to see those who are living in their authenticity, are honoring the authenticity of others. That's very important. I want to see you number one at the end of your race. It's time to run your race. You've been carrying this energy from lifetime to lifetime. No one, no thing, no person, no environment has the authority to interrupt that process. So when I say hit with a bang, when it's time to compete, it's time to show up, it's time to go for glory. No guts, no glory. True story, okay? People will utilize what you bring to the table, your uniqueness, and try to shit on you, try to do you better than you. They will try to compete with the things that you see. Shut that shit down, make it damn near painful. Make it to the point where those who place you into competition, you wasn't looking for it. Make it to the point that every time they try you, it takes them the fuck up out of here. They need to try themselves. Play with it. You can play with yourself, but you can't play with me. Meaning that you use yourself, but you're not finna use me. Okay? All right. And if you pussy, then sit there with your hands in your pockets and your head in the sand. But this is for those real ones, those war generals. Oh yes. And it's time to stamp your territory. Me, I don't know how. It's just a special thing. I have Aries in the 11th house. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and I have Mars in Aquarius. Listen, I'm going to fight in air, on land, and in water. Period. In spirit, and every element is going to work to my advantage because I'm coming from my own soil, what I was planted in, my birthright. And I suggest you take that same approach. Your identity is worth fighting for. Never let someone play on you and try to take your identity. We have to teach the world that it is important to stand in one's identity and autonomy in order to come together as a unit and collective and be effective in healing. So anything, anyone, break their goddamn neck. Send them to the grave, okay? Put they ass 6 feet the fuck under. But you have to teach people how to treat you. And depending on what your obstacles are, and I'm talking spiritually, of course, you have to make sure sometimes, I don't fucking agree with Kendrick Lamar, but he was right. Sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. Okay? I'm speaking to some people who are veterans, who are OGs. Some of you are new to the game, but you have the same challenges. And when those challenges, like bullies, people who try to take power and control over something that's uniquely yours, presents themselves, that's the contract you made in spirit. They volunteered for you to destroy them so that you, for one, you destroying them because of those actions helps evolve them. So don't think of it like where you're stuck in human morale. You destroying the act of trying of thievery, impersonation, And lack of respect, you destroying that energy helps the people who are acting in that way to evolve. It teaches them limits. It teaches them boundaries and how you do not transverse these boundaries. So if you don't stand up for yourself, if you don't put that work in and show people what you can do and pop the fuck on and pop the fuck out, then you deserve to be dog walked. So if you feel violated, if you've been violated in any kind of way, where people bastardize, try to take something from you, not give you your credit, and try to capitalize off of it in your fucking face, drag that hoe. It is for their own good, and it is for you to cement your success, because there can only be one you. And the lesson has to be learned, because guess what? When you teach people that they can't be you, then you help them go and find themselves so they can be what God birthed them in this world to be. And that is them. It is their karma, their dharma, their birth chart, their energy. You put them in their proper place. You put the bitch in a place so you can stand tall in your destiny. Now, for those who are watching in the shadows, you're trying to take someone else's destiny, stand in their place, recategorize, antagonize. This is that lesson in Libra, because Libra, there are certain nakshatras and certain placements in Libra in which there is this favor. When they see something they love and they like, they favor it so much that they want to bring it into their sphere. And Libra at its best loves to congratulate those that influence them, but at their worst, they just take. And so you're helping Libra in the South Node understand the boundaries, the exaltation point. In Vedic astrology, Saturn is exalted for me. Mars is exalted for me in Vedic, okay? But in Western, it is the mother, okay? The moon in Taurus. The 3-degree mark is the exaltation of the moon in Taurus. And I'm right there. So as a agent, either way it goes, of these planetary bodies, you have to step out, you have to step on. Don't let nobody take your place in line. Boot that motherfucker out, or you're going to learn. It's time for you to find out who you are, because no one can be you better than you, but you don't get to be somebody else and claim glory. And you damn sure ain't finna take a crown. So lessons are to be learned with this full moon. And like I said, if you've already rocked the iron hand, the iron fist with the velvet glove, it's time to take that motherfucking velvet off and go completely iron. We are talking about full moon in Aries. And shout out to those of you who have your Aries placements that are not limited. And it's time for you to show up and show out. Y'all have a good one. Much love to everyone. I'm going to continue with some readings later on tonight, and we're going to get it, okay? It's time for some new type of energy. It's time to destroy anything that is attempting to harvest off of you and take your place in line. It's time for you to come in first place, period. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.